Welcome to our last seasonal selling webinar, Warming Up Winter Sales, your guide to beating the winter blues, where we will discuss selling trends and tips as well as listen to firsthand experience from independent retailers. My name is Emily Gruen, and I'm an assistant editor at Hardware Retailing Magazine and the North American Retail Hardware Association. And our webinars are serving as an interactive platform for industry peers in one place to talk about important issues. And we are also sponsored by our Vendor Partners program. After today's webinar, check out Hardware Retailing Magazine and NRHA's Vendor Partners, which can be found at nrha.org. I'll introduce you to our panelists today. Our first panelist is Patty Christie. She's co-owner of Hood's Do-It-Best Hardware in Wyandotte, Michigan. We also are going to have Scott Grandchamp of LaGrange Park Ace Hardware, but he was unable to make it today. But we might have someone from his store checking in later this webinar. Thank you for joining us, Patty.
Hi, Emily. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
All right. Well, let's dive into the topic at hand today. We're going to start from the beginning of the season. So, Patty, how do you prepare your store for the winter months?
We usually about this time of the year will begin cutting back on our lawn and garden supplies, fertilizers, etc. Usually just after the Do-It-Best show, we'll return, which is, I believe, the weekend of the 7th and 8th of October. We'll return and we begin putting up Christmas selling decorations, fall rakes, but still, we're kind of, the weather's still in between right now. We still have some summer happening here, so.
Okay. Well, I know when we had talked, you also have a large gift department. Now, how do you get that ready for the winter season?
Just about the same. Right now we have a lot of Halloween decorations and goodies out. We'll begin the transition over for Christmas in a couple weeks. And that transition usually takes 2 weeks. We're normally ready to go about November 1st. Sometimes we are ready by October, or the end of October, the last week. We just transform, and we actually end up taking out up front in the store where we have our lawn and garden, and we put our fall things. That's where we put all of our Christmas goodies, just inside the front door. So we do a lot of lights. We do some decorations. We're not really heavy into decorations. And we've done for the past couple of years a stocking stuffer area, which has been extremely successful for us.
And what kind of items do you have in your stocking stuffer area?
We have silly items. Now, silly isn't probably the right. Everything is normally under $20 or under.
Okay.
And we just look for some really unique items. This year we have a beer mug, and it looks like an inverted beer bottle for the guys. We have some little toy soldiers that you can stick in your food, but they're really just like cocktail picks. Just a lot of like unique and interesting little gadgets is what we call it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, where do you find these interesting items?
The company, we buy them from a couple of the giftware companies. This year we're trying a new company called Fred, F-R-E-D, and they have some really unique things. Like one of the things that they have, and I just have to mention this because of the hardware business, they have a table saw, which is actually a cake knife.
Oh, wow.
And they have a pizza cutter that looks like a circular saw. And
that's perfect.
They have a sink stopper that looks like a DPW grate. So they have a lot of things that are just quite interesting. So this is a new company for us this year. In the past, we've used a company called Kikkerland, K-I-K-K-E-R-L-A-N-D. And they're also pretty well known in the giftware industry. And we've used some other small companies. We'll usually include some children's items. This year we have robotic puzzles.
Okay.
And they're puzzles that can be put together by the kids.
All right, great. That sounds like you have a lot of unique items.
we try.
When I talked to Scott about his store in LaGrange Park, Illinois, many people know that Illinois can get some brutal winters, so he often checks the weather in order to prepare his departments for winter sewing supplies. And he also at times will, if he knows a storm is coming, he'll set his alarm for 2, 3, 4 in the morning just to see how bad it is. And if it's going to be pretty bad, he'll go online to his distributor's website and order some more supplies that way. So that's another trick you can use if you know something's coming and you need to have enough stock for your customers. A few other ways you can prepare for winter sales is making sure if you live in an area where winter storms are routine, you get the basics in early and make sure your customers know that you have them. If you don't have them in early enough or put out on display early enough, your customers might not realize you have those items. So it's always a good idea to put them out early. Also, a lot of our independent retailers might be competing with some big box stores, but that doesn't mean that you will be outsold on those big ticket items like snow blowers. If you can, consider price matching the snow blowers with the big box prices to keep the customer spending inside your doors. But if that isn't possible, you can still differentiate yourself from the big box in other ways. Offer to assemble or deliver the machine for your customers, or perform complimentary or inexpensive end-of-season maintenance when they need it. Also, now that you're stocked for your first winter storm, make sure your customers know. One of my sources was a marketing manager for Hardlines distributor Blish Mize, and he said stocking end caps early with winter storm supplies like lock de-icer and ice scrapers can help your store become the go-to source for winter needs. Also, change out your power aisle to fit space heaters and generators early because you really never know when that first cold snap will hit, and you want to be prepared. All right, Patty, got another question for you. What products do you find are trendy in this winter selling season?
In the winter selling season, trendy products are possibly snow throwers. Or do you mean? Are you meaning in the gift industry? What's trendy?
Yeah, what do you find for your gift department that's trending this year?
What's trending this year? Doesn't seem to be anything in particular.
Oh, okay.
At this point, sometimes it takes a little bit of the season to start to get something to trend, to start seeing a trend. Something I think we've been trending with all summer is it's called a redneck wine glass, and we have been selling those left and right. Can't get them in fast enough. I think that's going to be a really popular item for us this year. Candles are always a hit with us. We have our annual Yankee candle sale every year in December, so it's kind of that's always a given as being a trend.
Okay.
I don't really see anything going in a particular direction this year, to be honest with you.
All right.
But sometimes that comes later too. We'll figure it out in November.
Yeah, exactly. You kind of have to see what the customers are purchasing first to really determine that.
And I don't think there's really anything in the market in the gift market anyway, that's been just thrown in our faces. A few years ago it was Webkins, and 12 years ago it was Beanie Babies. But it doesn't seem to be anything that's really trending high right now.
Okay. All right. Back in Illinois at Scott's store, because he's an A store and they had recently picked up Craftsman products, he said those were a good line that they had that were flying off the shelves, as well as Toro snow blowers were extremely popular. In addition to that, LaGrange Park Ace Hardware also has an extensive holiday decorations department, and they'll bring in live Christmas trees, which they sell. They also sell wreaths, garlands, mantelpieces, even firewood, and when fall comes around the corner, they have pumpkins, hay, and corn stalks. So those are the kind of things they tend to bring in, and they do very well with the holiday decorations. Here are a couple other product trends to consider for your store. Due to fluctuating and often rising fuel costs, customers are searching for alternate ways to heat their homes and their businesses. Biomass stoves have really seen an increase in sales because they make great supplemental heat sources that allow the customers to turn their main heating source down low and use these biomass stoves to make up for it. Biomass stoves, if you don't carry them in your store, they use organic, renewable fuels such as wood pellets, or they also have corn and soybean products that they can run on, which, if you have those as well, could mean a lot of add-on sales for your store. And if you live in an area or you have a lot of customers that are very environmentally conscious, this is a great product to have because this is a green alternative to using fossil fuels. Another good thing about biomass stoves is that they're very easy to market. A great way to market these in your stores is to operate one in your store. Have it in the power aisle where people can see it, they can see how it works, and it kind of creates a nice warm ambiance in your store. Also, if you have it running for a while, you can tell the customers yourself how much you're saving on utilities, which is also a great thing to do. Some popular home projects that we find many customers doing in the winter are bathroom makeovers, paint projects, and kitchen upgrades. So if you have a lot of DIY customers or contractors that get busy in the winter months, make sure you have the right products in stock for them, especially these projects, and give your customers ideas to improve their home, before the guests arrive, when they have their in-laws and other people staying over for the holidays. We had an idea of putting end caps that give all the basics for a project, such as a bathroom makeover. You could have faucets, coordinating paint colors, and decorative bathroom elements like soap and toothbrush holders. And that'll get your customers thinking about the possibilities that they can do in their own home. And also, because there are so many parties that are going to be happening during the holidays, one niche that you might consider becoming is the party niche, the party rental niche. You could rent out tables, chairs, tents, and if possible, party accessories like popcorn machines and photo booths. Those are really popular at holiday events. And this is a great way to get repeat business because once somebody knows you have those things for a party, they will come back to you next time. And also, if you become like the party destination, you can also earn add-on sales of decorations and Christmas trees. When I looked into some heating customer trends, I looked at a Home Improvement Research Institute report that showed what buyers were looking for when they're looking to heat their homes. So if you want to attract customers to these big-ticket items, it's important to know what they're looking for. About 30% of HVAC buyers are looking for energy-efficient products. About half of them are researching the products before they even get to your store. And a big 70% are expecting a professional to install the products for them. Another thing I found interesting is that people who are out to buy these big-ticket items are less likely to go to two stores. They want to do their research, go to the store, pick it out, and be done with it. So knowing this about your customer can help you tailor your heating and cooling department to fulfill their needs. So if you want to capture more of these sales, you can do that by offering installation services. So it's a great way to put a customer's mind at ease. In this way, if you partner with professionals that will install it, maybe you can also get some referral service from them, and they can refer customers to your store if you refer them to get it installed. Because of the nature of big-ticket items, customers might be wary to purchase a furnace or a heat pump if they know they can't return it. So that was one thing they were also looking for, a fair return policy. So make sure you take a look at yours and make sure it's fair so that if they know they have a reasonable problem with it, that they'll be able to return or exchange it. Also, customers these days are more prepared when they know they're spending a lot of money. Many will take the time to research the products before going to the store, so it's important to have displays that are clear, that allow the customers to see exactly what they're buying, because they probably have a good idea of what they're already looking for. Also, having your associates trained on these products is extremely important, so you can help your customers get what they're looking for and get the right product for their home. If you're an NRHA member, we have a lot of training programs that will help train your associates to so they're at the knowledgeable level that they need to be for this, and those can be found at nrha.org. Also, customers are looking for these products. They want a wide range of products. They're looking for the brands, and they're looking at different price points. So make sure you have a wide offering and tap into your green customers by adding energy-efficient options like those approved by Energy Star and the biomass stoves we talked about earlier. All right, Patty, back to you. So how do you set your store apart during the winter?
I think our gift department is a huge draw. We tend to flip-flop. In the summertime, our hardware department thrives. In the wintertime, our gift department thrives, and we tend to support each other all through the year. I think that sets us apart from the norm in the hardware business. I know it's normally a slow time of the year other than for seasonal items. We also carry Toro snow throwers. I think that sets us apart. We have very knowledgeable people selling them, and we have a repair service, and we do very, very well with Toro snow throwers. Our Christmas decorations and accessories are normally a very big draw because we have a lot of different things, like I mentioned earlier, the stocking stuffer area, and a lot of things that you maybe wouldn't find at Lowe's or Home Depot or any of the big box stores.
Okay. When I went to your gift department, I loved it. You had so many products. How much square footage do you know, or maybe average, is your gift department?
Our gift department is, you're really catching me off on this one. My guess would be about 1,500 square feet.
Okay. Yeah, and what I liked about it, it was kind of right in the beginning of the store. So you were able to see all these products pretty much right away. I'm guessing that's a draw for a lot of your female customers.
Absolutely. Normally the men go right, the women go left when they come in. It wasn't that way for many years. It's only been that way. I know that the Yankee candles extend directly up to our cash register now, and our gift department never had that extension before we carried the Yankee candles. So it was harder to get people, and women, men too, we have a lot of men shoppers, to come back to our gift department, but it's been much more successful now that we've opened up an aisleway to welcome people to come in the back.
Okay. At LaGrange Park Ace Hardware, they added a 6,000 square foot greenhouse to their store, which has become pretty much a main attraction throughout the year, but especially during the holiday season. This is where they will sell their live trees and decorations, which makes them stand apart from other stores in the area. And they also host garden shows for customers. So those are popular events that set them apart and differentiate themselves from other stores. One thing Scott had mentioned, that when they built this greenhouse, they went from having a mostly male customer base to basically a 50-50 split of female and male. So this has really brought in the female customers to their store. Another thing that's unique about this hardware store is in January they'll kind of clear out all the holiday stuff, and they'll put in high-quality patio sets. Now, obviously in Illinois, January is still cold, but this Scott said this gets customers thinking about spring and hopefully planning to get these patio sets outside their homes earlier rather than later. Now we'll move on to promotions. Patty, how do you promote your store? I know you mentioned the Yankee candle sale earlier. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Sure. We plan, we call it our Yankee Candle Celebration. This year is going to be our 16th year. And it started out as just an after hours. We did it for 2 or 3 hours. After a couple of years of that, it expanded to the point where we couldn't move in the store. We had so many people. So we extended the event to be all day. We always do it on the first Saturday in December. Okay. Last year we drew about 650 people. Well, it's probably more people. We had 650 transactions, and it's our biggest dollar day, biggest profit day of the year.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Also, I know during the sale, it's almost more of an experience for your customers. I know it's not just markdown items. Can you tell us what else you have during that day that draws people in?
Sure. We have some sort of entertainment, and when I mean that, I don't mean a band. Or last year we had a photo booth here. This year our grand plan is to have a cash vault, and it's an inflatable. And rather than circulating dollar bills around in it, we're going to circulate coupons for free items from Yankee and from the store.
Okay.
And everyone will have the opportunity to reach into the cash vault, quote unquote. So we always have some sort of activity that draws people and makes it just a little bit fun.
Okay. Also, the holidays are a great time for your gift department, and you guys stay fairly busy throughout those holidays. But afterwards, and when it starts to slow down, you mentioned that you also have a garage sale and a pet adoption event in the slower months. Can you tell us a little bit about those events?
Sure, our garage sale, we do that every other year. And what that we take down our holiday things, and which is about 1,000 square feet of space. And we'll take items, we'll go through our inventory and print up some printouts and things that have been sitting for a long time, things that aren't turning. We'll take and mark them at real garage sale prices, not just half off. I mean, we may take a $10 item and make it $1.50. And it's just a very, very, very successful event. It helps us to clear a lot of things out of the store that that we don't necessarily just want to give away. We're still making some of our profit back. The other event we do also, and this is only going to be our second year to do that, is a pet adoption event. And we work with PAWS, which is the Precious Animal Welfare Society. And last year, our event was called Love Me Because, and it was for harder to adopt animals who may have medical issues, may be overweight, may need to be in a single family home, etc., etc. So we adopted about 16 hard to adopt pets and made about $1,700 for the organization. And we had our busiest Saturday in February ever.
Oh wow! Well, that's really impressive.
We didn't expect to be busy. We expected it to be animals and pets and people and no money that day, but it turned out to be our busiest Saturday ever in February, other than a snowstorm.
Oh yeah, well that's great. So now is that something you want to continue annually?
We are doing it again this year.
Okay.
Very excited. We're actually already planning it. So.
All right, great.
We're really excited about it.
Yeah, that's definitely a way to get customers in the store if they're animal lovers. So.
And a lot of people returned that had never been here before.
Okay, so it kind of exposes your store to new customers as well.
Absolutely, and there were several people come in. They'll come in and give us updates on their pets. Do you remember Kennedy? And I'm like, yeah. So I think it's given us some additional customers. Yes.
All right, great. Well, I know at LaGrange Park Ace, every year they have this open house Christmas party that's after Thanksgiving, and it's a big deal for them because it gets a lot of people in the store, a lot of people see what they have to offer, but it also becomes a party for their customers and is a way to give back. They this year actually are considering bringing live reindeer to their store and having an area where children can get their picture taken with the live reindeer and get their Christmas cards done and able to send out later. They also have hot cocoa and cider and cookies, and it's just kind of a way to make sure that their customers feel appreciated. And during this day, they have a lot of sale prices, and it's that store's most popular sale of the year. Some other store promotions that might give you some ideas of what you can do with your store. Anders Hardware hosts an annual event where children can get their picture taken with Santa, so it's similar to LaGrange's event. And Briggs Hardware uses social media to draw people into their store. They offer a 25% discount to customers who mention they saw the offer on Facebook. So that helps lead more people to their store, lead more people to their social media avenues. Franklin Ace Hardware hosts an extremely popular annual Carhartt Day sale, and it's gotten very popular to the point where people in the community look forward to this day. Albion Ace Hardware hosts a ladies' night where female shoppers can come to socialize, drink wine, enjoy snacks, and they can get their purchases gift wrapped while they're there. Another one that's not on this slide, but I thought was extremely interesting, is McGuckin Hardware. They're out in Colorado. They hire a harpist to play during their holiday season, and this gets customers and employees in the holiday spirit. A lot of customers will come to the store just to hear the harpist play, and people who are shopping tend to stay longer just to listen to her. One thing that started last year that I think would be a great thing for small businesses to use this year is Small Business Saturday. Last year, American Express's small business unit declared the Saturday after Thanksgiving Small Business Saturday, and you may or may not have heard this last year. This was started to help raise awareness of the importance of small businesses and communities. A lot of businesses, organizations, and advocacy groups are promoting this day to get more customers through small businesses' doors. And American Express even has marketing opportunities to help businesses spread the word. So this year, it's going to be on Saturday, November 26th. So you can inform your customers of this new shopping holiday with signage in your store, educate them with small business facts on your Twitter or Facebook page. For example, you can put, for every $100 spent at a local business, on average $68 of that returns right back into the community. American Express has a Small Business Saturday badge for that you can put on your Facebook page. And a great way to have this is offer special savings for customers during that day and give them a reason to come in. If you want to learn more about this and how you can take advantage of this year, please visit smallbusinesssaturday.com. So what advice would you give home improvement retailers who want to increase their sales during the winter, Patty?
I think implementing some sort of holiday, whether it be, like you said, live Christmas trees or decorations or some type of an event, the reindeer or a special sale where everybody feels welcome and welcomed into your store. I think that's a really important thing. It doesn't necessarily, like our pet adoption event, we never dreamed that we would be busy that day dollar-wise. Sometimes doing something good for the community brings a lot of people together and a lot of people into your store.
Yeah, and I think with a pet adoption event and your garage sale, it's just thinking outside the box and connecting with the community, and you really never know how that's going to play out and help your store and help the organization. So I think that's something other retailers should keep in mind as well.
Absolutely. I think connecting in odd ways is a good thing. Things that you would never dream to normally do. I don't think up until last year, I think if I would have said I wanted to have a pet adoption event here, I think that my dad and my brother wouldn't have been very happy with me. But I think that they're starting to be able to think outside the box a little bit too.
Okay. I think that's great advice. One thing that I think is important for retailers to do is evaluate their store at the end of the year. I mean, holiday sales are usually the main focus as the year comes to a close, but it's also a great time to re-examine your business and make sure it's on the right track. So here are some questions I think you should ask yourself when you're going towards the end of the year. Have you accomplished the goals you set for yourself at the beginning of the year? What advertising outlets have worked for me? And maybe what haven't? If you're new to social media, how is that going? You really need to take a step back and look at these things. Are my employees happy? How can I merchandise more effectively? Are there any repairs or maintenance needed to be done to my store? Have I stuck to my budget? Have my sales increased or decreased? And what do I want to accomplish in 2012? These questions are going to get you thinking about what you'll want to change for next year and the things that you were successful at and want to continue. Another piece of advice is to ask employees these questions, hear what they have to say. or if you have a friend who's a small business owner or in business, ask them questions or have them look at your store so you can get honest feedback. This kind of gives you a more well-rounded answer if you get employee feedback, so you can kind of see, you might have missed some things that they caught on to. If your sales slow down during the beginning of the year, take advantage of that time and tackle your to-do list around the store. This is a great time to review assortments and reorganize departments, or do a deep cleaning or repairs or remodels that you haven't had time to do during the other parts of the year. That concludes the main portion of the webinar, but we have some questions that panelists have asked. So I'll go through those, and Patty, if you're able to answer some questions, we have some from the audience for you.
Sure.
When do you find is the best time to start ramping up winter products?
I think now is just a little bit premature. I think the first week of October, I think, is okay. So next week, or the second week in October, would be the best time to start ramping it up. I think the public in general feels that some stores just start way too early, and we have a lot of our customers come in and say, I can't believe I was at such and such, and they have their Christmas things out already, and it's 98 degrees. So I don't think that necessarily being premature is good.
Okay.
I think waiting until the season is almost there.
Yeah, some people in September, you're just getting out of summer, so they might feel that that's a little too early to start thinking about shoveling snow and everything, so that's understandable. We had one panelist ask, since you said the gift department was about 1,500, I know I'm putting you on the spot again, but do you know about how much the square footage you have for your entire store?
Our entire store is 5,500 square feet,
okay.
And our seasonal area is about 1,000.
Okay. All right, and do you have any merchandising tips for winter products?
Make it fun. We do all kinds of unique little things. Sometimes we have snow in our, not real snow, of course, but we have fake snow with our snow blowers, and I think you have to make things unique, different, maybe a little off the edge sometimes.
Yeah, again, back to the thinking outside the box, and that'll differentiate yourself from other stores.
We always do. For instance, I'm going to use this for an example. We always do a themed Christmas tree. One of our Christmas trees always has just a unique theme, and this year we're having enchanted fairies, they're kind of edgy fairies, and we're going to have purple ornaments on it, and it's just going to be a little bit odd for a Christmas tree, but people have already been asking us, what's your Christmas tree this year? What's your Christmas tree this year? So we've done some quite unique trees.
Yeah, and it sounds like even doing something like that, it gets people talking, which is always good.
And it's something small. It doesn't cost a lot of money to do. And once you do it a couple times, then people, they look forward to it.
Okay. I've got one more question. With the holidays being so big in winter, do you have a special return policy on products that are sold around the holidays? What's your policy on that?
We're pretty lenient with returns. If we absolutely know the product came from our store, we usually take it back without a receipt.
Okay.
And if they don't have a receipt, we normally would be in an exchange type situation. If it's an item that was purchased for a Christmas present and it was purchased early, such as this time of the year, most people will ask either for a gift receipt and say it's a Christmas gift, and we'll jot that down. Like I said, we don't have a really strict policy for returns. We try to make everybody happy.
Okay. Because you have so much winter and gift merchandise, one question was, how do you suggest liquidizing winter merchandise that doesn't sell at the end of the winter season? Now, I know you have your garage sale, but do you have any other tactics to get rid of that holiday merchandise?
Our holiday merchandise for the gift department, everything except our Yankee candles. Our Yankee candles we carry holiday. 365 days out of the year, unlike most Yankee Candle retailers.
Okay.
It keeps a lot of people coming back rather than going to a Yankee Candle store for their favorite fragrances. So our general gift merchandise, we every other year we do it in the opposite of our garage sale. We'll have a 75 up to 75% off of our Christmas gift goods,
Okay.
and normally we have a 50% off on the years in between, and we run that until about mid-January, is the same as we would the garage sale.
Okay.
So, in terms of snow throwers, shovels, ice melter, usually we're scrounging and needing more, so it's not really an issue of getting rid of those items and clearing those out to make room for lawn and garden.
All right. Well, it sounds like those tactics work for you to be able to clear out that merchandise. Those are all the questions we have today, so thank you so much, Patty, for being a panelist today. I'm sure many people got a lot of great advice from you.
Thank you for inviting me to do the webinar. It was fun.
Great. If anybody has any questions or needs to get in contact with me, you can see my email address on the screen in front of you. I also have my Twitter handle. So those are two ways that you can get a hold of me very fast. And this webinar will be available as a recording on NRHA.org. So if you have a coworker that you would like to have listen to it, it'll be available there within the next few days. I want to thank everybody for attending, and I hope you have a great day.